We have made it to the All-Star break here in Season 4 of the Portland Trailblazers, my NBA franchise here on NBA 2K24. We're going to quickly go through the All-Star break and then into the second half of the year, or really the last quarter of the year. We have passed the trade deadline, and right now our team's in a pretty good spot. We've won 8 of our last 9 games. We're getting healthier. The trade deadline ended up being very eventful, specifically with Joel Embiid being traded to the Sacramento Kings. As for us, we acquired Enzo Shabazz from the Sixers. He's a hybrid wing big man who's a really good defensive player, really good rebounder, good finisher as well. He's played in 3 games with us, and he's taken a little bit to adjust now that he's in a completely new role than where he was used with the Sixers. But overall, I think he's done some good things for us in limited action. We're currently in 4th place in a loaded Western Conference, and we've been like 7th, 8th pretty consistently for a while. This is the highest we've been all year. We're only 2.5 games out of 1st, but we're also only 2.5 games out of 9th. This conference is absurdly close with 9 really good teams, whereas the Eastern Conference, the gap between most of the teams towards the top are a lot wider, which is the complete opposite of what it looked like last year. Health has been a big issue for our team all season long, but we're starting to get healthy at the right time. Backup guard Malachi Suleiman is the only guy who's hurt. He's projected to miss roughly another month or so before coming back from his ankle injury. So let's start by briefly going through the All-Star festivities, and of course, for the first time in this series, we do have an All-Star. Darius Springer makes it as a first-time representative in his 3rd NBA season. First things first, we have the Rising Stars Challenge, which we have 1 participant, that being Khalil Griffin, who of course has been fantastic this year. No question that he would make this, averaging 17 and 8. He's the only guy on the roster to have played every game this year. Super consistent, super important to our success. Team USA is certainly a little bit better than Team World, although I will point out that Dante Del Toro, the number 1 pick, is playing on Team USA, and I don't know why. He should be on Team World, and I switched it after the game to where he will be in the future. Team USA is on the right. They end up winning 106-92 in 31 minutes. Griffin only shot the ball 3 times, scoring 4 points, but he did grab 9 boards. That'll bring us into All-Star Saturday night. We have a couple participants in the dunk contest with Enzo Shabazz and Darius Springer. Rare to see an actual All-Star here. Now, the dunk contest in this game is so bad. Credit to 2K for being realistic about the dunk contest being awful. So because of that, we're going to skip through it. Jaden Hardy wins the 3-point contest. He was an injury replacement for Kyrie Irving. And then Treylon Battle wins the dunk contest. And that'll bring us into the All-Star game. With the league going back to the East versus West format, that's what we've brought it back to here. So Darius Springer will be playing on the Western Conference team with all of his West counterparts. And we will be player locking the game with, obviously, Darius Springer, who's the first man off the bench for the Western team in the first quarter. And on his first possession of the game, he gets an assist, a corner 3 for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Following possession, Springer, nice pass, inside for the big man, Zion Williamson, who had a wide-open lane and already 2 early assists and a rebound for Springer, who's going to bring the ball up himself running the floor, guarded by Darius Garland. That is a mismatch. He's going to post up on him, and he is in for the bucket. Quick start for Springer. In his first minute as an All-Star, he has scored or assisted on every possession. 26-25, West leads. Yikes. Not a very good play there by Darius Garland. He misses the rim and shoots at the underneath part of the backboard as Darius Springer turns it over. Joel Embiid with the interception. I don't know why he's on the Eastern team, considering he now plays for the Kings. Springer's doing some nasty cherry picking. It is the All-Star game after all, as he's got some space. Fires in the corner, and that's what Springer gets for turning the ball over. He gets an open 3 out of it. 29-25, West ahead. Springer, a couple rebounds later, leaves Giannis wide open. He's going to let Giannis shoot, being that he's not a great 3-point shooter. Springer with the rebound on the other end. Gets it to Luka Doncic in the corner. Yes, we're setting screens in the All-Star game. Zion wide open. Top of the key 3 is good. 32-25. West playing really well since Springer entered the game. This time he contests the Giannis 3, but ironically, it goes in. 32-28. Springer looking to set screens for anybody. Luka, step back. Beauty. Doncic with the mid-range jumper. 6-point game. And again, the West was trailing when Springer first entered. 34-30 into the second quarter. Springer with an open lane. Throws it down. Darius Springer now with 7 points on 3 of 3. Perfect shooting from the field. 38-33. What kind of shot was that? Springer with his 5th rebound of the game already. Again, looking to run the floor with a dime inside for Kevin Durant, who makes the layup. 40-36 off of a Western Conference turnover. Giannis inside. He's blocked! Springer with the snuff on the Greek Freak. On the other end, Darius Springer gets it over to Giannis. Another turnover. So the block doesn't result into anything, but still a cool play. 7, 6, and 3 for Springer, who cuts inside. Good move off the ball and another slam. He's got 9. Springer's been in the game for the last 10 minutes because he's playing so well as he's trapped inside, out to Shea. Hands it off for Ja Morant. Bop, bop. Hide your kids because Ja Morant is coming guns a-blazing. That's not an assist for Springer, but a good play there. He would be taken out of the game after the timeout. And we move into the third quarter. Pretty close game still. 73-69. Giannis misses the 3. Mobley with the rebound, though. Pro tip, kids. Grab your boards. As Mobley gets the dunk. Tie game now. Giannis backing down on Springer. He's not going to let Giannis punk him around. Good defense by Darius Springer on the other end. He's got Zion Williamson, who floats it up and in. And with that, the Western Conference is back on top. Springer posts up on LaMelo, and fittingly, his first miss of the game is when he's posting up on a guard. Wembanyama steals it. He misses. My brother in Christ, you're 7'4". Make the shot. The East is up by 6 now. The West has hit a little bit of a rough patch. Nobody's making their shots. Springer gets it out to Luka Doncic at the buzzer. No good. A rough ending to the third quarter for the Western Conference as the East leads by 6. Now they lead by 8. Going into the fourth quarter with a target score of 105. Springer in with the early layup. We're going to keep Springer in for the entire quarter just so we can see how this game ultimately unfolds, and because he's playing pretty well. As it's inside for Evan Mobley. Guarded by Springer. Up and no good. Nice defense by Springer. His 9th rebound of the game. One away from a double-double. As he gets the handoff from Devin Booker out to Zion. Zion floats up and in. 3 of Springer's 5 assists today have been scored by Zion. 79-86. LaMelo is a wide-open man. Can't leave him with that much space. That was Jaden Ivey who hit the triple, and the East leads by 10. Here comes Springer with it, guarded by Ivey. That's a mismatch. He's going to pass it inside, though, for Devin Booker, who makes the layup, and the West brings it within 8. 81-91 now. Here comes Springer, guarded by Brandon Miller. Skinny man can't hold you, young fella. He has Booker open on the wing, who hits for 3. Big shot for Devin Booker. The East would hit a 3 right back, though, as it's 84-94. Here's Morant. Pulls the trigger on the triple. Springer with his 8th assist of the game. Brandon Miller, no good from deep. Springer runs the floor. Looks to drive by Giannis. Passes it inside for Morant, and it's good. Springer's on triple-double watch now. He's got 11, 9, and 9. 89-94. LaMelo with it. Tries to lob it up. Tipped by Zion. Giannis gets it back, though. A lucky play for the East as it's a 7-point game. Here's Morant with it. Looks to get some space. No spacing from the West here at all. Wemby inside, no good. Springer with the rebound, his 10th. He's blocked by Giannis. Gets it back for his 11th rebound. Out to Shea. Shea back to Springer. He's guarded by Ivey. That's a size mismatch. Posting up on the guard as it's good. Big play for Darius Springer, and it's a 5-point game. The West is right in there. Wembanyama with the interception out to Morant. Throws it down. A 360 for Ja Morant, and it's a 1-score game. Zion out to Springer. Deep 3. He is gassed. Maybe we shouldn't be shooting jump shots with him. Doesn't matter, though, because Wemby gets the offensive rebound and the putback, and the deficit is within 1. Brandon Miller, no good. We basically had the Charlotte Hornets in the game with LaMelo, Miller, and Anthony Davis. Wemby with the rebound out to Zion for 3 and the lead. Zion puts the West ahead. They need 7 points to win. Ivey gets it over to Brandon Miller. Miller with space for 3. It's good. Big shot for Brandon Miller. And the Eastern Conference is back ahead. Springer with it inside out to Wembanyama. Makes the layup. Draws the foul. And 1. West takes the lead. Triple-double for Springer. 13, 11, and 10. Cade Cunningham in for the East. Mid-ranger is good. We're tied at 101. This game's really coming down to it. Zion Williamson on the drive. Throws it down. And the West takes control. They lead by 2, and they only need 2 more to get the win. Big possession for the East. Here's Cade Cunningham with it. Gets the screen from Mello. Cunningham, 3, no good. Springer with the rebound is 12. Springer takes it up the floor himself. Crossover, drive, inside. Poster slam for the win! What a play by Darius Springer to win the All-Star game for the West. Dunking on LaMelo and Giannis to finish out a tremendous performance for the first-time All-Star. 15 points, including the game-winning dunk, 13 rebounds, 10 assists, and doing it on very efficient 7 of 10 shooting from the field. Unfortunately, he will not get the All-Star MVP. Zion scored 30 on really good shooting. I guess I kind of get it, but Darius Springer's impact today was absolutely tremendous, showing that he belongs with the big boys, getting a triple-double in the All-Star game, but Zion did get 30 on 14 of 19 shooting. Again, here's a look at Springer's numbers. A tremendous game, hopefully the first of many All-Star appearances. The most interesting thing I noticed here is the shooting splits. These guys actually tried on defense. Adam Silver, take notes. Apparently, we have figured out what the NBA needs for a competitive All-Star game. With that, we'll be kicking off the second half of the year, and we've got some big games coming up, particularly with the Spurs and the Kings back-to-back. Those two teams are first and second right now in the Western Conference. We also play against the Rockets twice shortly thereafter. Houston's in third. So we're going to simulate these next 4 games against the Clippers, Heat, and then 2 against the New Orleans Pelicans. Hopefully we go probably 3-1 in that stretch. We are better than all 4 of those teams. Ashton Wisham, twisted knee. That's unfortunate because I wanted to match him up defensively with Wembanyama in the Spurs game, as we do end up going 3-1. Our one loss was the first game against the Pelicans. We did not have Shaedon Sharpe available. He suffered a sore back in the previous game. Springer with nearly another triple-double, 17, 18, and 9. And then in the win against New Orleans, he had 26, 11, and 7. Ochai Agbaji's been playing out of his mind as well since the All-Star break. The one guy who's been struggling, though, is Anthony Simons, who's been super inconsistent shooting the ball since coming back from injury. And he's shot us out of a couple games since his return. So hopefully we can get that cleaned up, as we're now in third in the West, only a game out of first place. And if we win our next 2 games against the Spurs and the Kings, we will presumably be in first. San Antonio, of course, is led by the MVP frontrunner Victor Wembanyama. This team won the title last year, led by Wemby and Giannis, who obviously left to return to Milwaukee, but the Spurs haven't really missed a beat, with Victor Wembanyama leading the way, likely to win an MVP, as he's just 23 years old, still on his rookie contract, which is remarkable. Porzingis wins the tip, and we are underway here in San Antonio. The Wemby and Porzingis matchup is going to be a big one. The Blazers traded a lot for Porzingis in the offseason, given the idea that he's their best opportunity of stopping Victor Wembanyama going forward. Springer, what in the world was that? I mean, it went in, but what a weird play. He just kind of floats it up and in. Nice play there by the first-time All-Star, Darius Springer, who's been great since the All-Star break. Here's Wembanyama over. Porzingis makes the floater, gets the first point of the game for San Antonio. Whenever the Blazers play against the Spurs, Wemby usually goes off, so I'm expecting today to be no different, unless Porzingis has anything to say about that, as Wembanyama gets the mismatch with Shaedon Sharpe, and you can take a guess how that ends. 6-4, Springer open lane, throws it down, two-handed, powerful slam for Springer. Maybe not as much power as the game-winning dunk in the All-Star game, but still pretty nice. Zach LaVine with it for the Spurs, Euro step, dunks it over Sharpe. Great play there by LaVine, but overall it's Portland off to a good start. They lead 14-8. Here's Josh Hart in the corner, hits the 3. Griffin was expecting him to drive, but Hart is able to knock down the catch-and-shoot 3. Spurs on a 7-0 run. Romano now fakes out Simons with the triple as well. Simons was expecting him to drive too, and the Spurs would go on a 10-0 run. Here's LaVine now. He makes a 3. The Spurs are heating up. They lead 21-16. Here's Springer with it on the drive. Into the corner. Ochai Agbaji drills the 3 for the Blazers. Agbaji still with a lesser role than he's had previously, but he's played well coming off the bench since coming back from injury as Wembanyama is stopped in transition. Springer with a beautiful dunk. He did not get to win the slam dunk contest, but we know he's got some incredible stuff in his repertoire. Tied at 21. Wembanyama no good again. Nice defensive stop by Porzingis. Ochai Agbaji out to Springer. Step back is good over Kobe White. And the Blazers are up by a pair, 23-21. Here's Shaedon Sharpe with it, out to Porzingis for three. And it's good! I did not think that shot was going to fall, but it does for the Zinger. 26-21. Portland's now on a really nice run, getting the lead back. Here's Kobe White with it. He's trapped inside, and he gets it to fall over Shaedon Sharpe. 26-23 now. Agbaji backing down on Levine, gets it to Logan. Back inside for Ochai, posting up, and makes the layup, using his strength and toughness to get that one to fall. 30-25 now. Simons back to Ochai. Looks to get by Levine, and he is in with the layup. Quick start off the bench for Ochai Agbaji. He's got 7 on perfect shooting. 32-27. Branham blows by Ochai, and Malachi Branham is in for the dunk. 34-29. Portland leads by 5 with seconds to go in the quarter. Levine off the screen inside for Xavier Tillman. Layup is good over the defender. That's Shabazz. 34-31 now. Simons is going to heave it up at the end of the quarter, and his shot is no good. An exciting, high-scoring start here in the home of the Alamo, right? Isn't it? I'm not going to fact-check it. I'm going to assume it's true. Let me know if I'm wrong. Into the second quarter now. One-possession ball game. Here's a three off the catch for Kobe White, who gets off a screen to tie the game at 34 for the Spurs. Now knotted up at 36. Here's Anthony Simons with it. Gets it over to Griffin on the move. Tough shot is good. Nice play there by Khalil Griffin. He's got 7. Here's Springer with it. Step back. Long three is good. Nice play by Darius Springer. That was good defense by Sabonis, but he hits the triple. 44-38. Griffin with room. Kicks, steals, and fires. Back-to-back-to-back triples for Portland. They're red hot. They lead by 9. Here's Griffin. Another one! Khalil Griffin's heating up here in the second quarter with 3 threes already. And the Blazers all of a sudden lead by a dozen. This game was just tied. Levine gets one back, though, for the Spurs to bring this one back within single digits. 52-41. Here comes Darius Springer with it. Springer with the floater. Impressive high-arcing shot for Springer, who's got 13 points here in the first half. Griffin, pump fake, thinks about another 3, gets it to Porzingis instead. Latvia's finest, Kristaps Porzingis with the slam. 56-41 now, seconds left on the shot clock. Levine with the screen, heaves it up, it's good. Zach LaVine with the triple. You may notice a common theme here. The Spurs are pretty much only shooting 3s in the second quarter. I don't really know why. They finally keep it inside the arc. You see San Antonio, the guy's 7-4. Use them. 16-point game. Logan floats it up and in. That was a weird shot. That ball went awfully high, but hey, it works. The Blazers are just toying around now with San Antonio. They lead by 18 as Wemby gets open off the double. He hits a 3. 64-49 now. Scoot Henderson with it on the drive. Kicks it over to Griffin in the corner. Heavily contested jumper is good inside the arc, but still an impressive shot for Griffin, who's been unbelievable here in the second quarter. 66-49. Here's Levine with it. He hits the triple for San Antonio. 66-52 now. Ochai Agbaji with the drive. He's blocked by Victor Wembanyama. Spurs get it back on the other end. Romano to Sabonis, out to Wembanyama. Off of his dribble, pops the 3, it's good. Victor Wembanyama sinks the 3 ball. 66-55, Agbaji no good again. That was Sabonis with the stop. Shot clock unplugged in the hands of guess who? Victor Wembanyama. He's doubled. Now guarded by Porzingis, looking for the jumper, no good. Rebounded by Springer. Portland's going to have to heave it up, and they won't get to as the pass is tipped, and that'll wrap up the first half. Trailblazers lead by 11, 66-55. They led by as much as 18 in this quarter, but the Spurs started to battle back, hitting some more 3s. San Antonio had like 75% of their shots in the second quarter as 3-pointers, and I don't really get it. They are shooting the ball well. They've made 3 consecutive 3s in a row after starting the quarter 4 for 16. To be specific, they went 7 of 19 from deep in the second as Wemby gets one quickly to start the third. The Spurs have now made their last 4 threes, starting to finally heat up from beyond the arc as Zach LaVine is in with the slam. 68-80 now off of the dunk. Here's Marco Romano, the Italian stallion, out to Josh Hart in the corner, looking for another 3. He gets it. San Antonio's not missing right now from deep after they were ice cold for a while. That's Josh Hart with a steal. Spurs can make it a 1-score game here. It's in the hands of Victor Wembanyama. Wouldn't be surprised to see him look for a 3. Instead, off his dribble inside, mid-ranger's good. And the Spurs, who not that long ago were down by 18, have brought the lead all the way down to 3. An impressive comeback. And the Blazers get a response off the drive and finish by Scoot Henderson. 70-65 now. Sabonis is intercepted by Scoot. On the other end, Springer with it out to Griffin. Another 3. Bang! Khalil Griffin is not missing from deep. His defender is too small. And the Blazers are back up by 8. While at the inbound, Marco Romano with the drive. And Romano with a powerful dunk. Nice play by the former top 5 draft pick. And that'll cut the lead down to 6. Scoot Henderson with it. Inside for Shaedon Sharpe. Switches hands midair. And he gets the slam. That was a good cut off the ball by Shaedon Sharpe. Recognizing there was nobody inside to potentially defend him. And his off-ball awareness gives Portland 2 points. Scoot, step back. Too smooth. Nice shot there by Scoot Henderson, the 3-level scorer, as it's 77-67. LaVine, guarded by Springer, out to Wembanyama, and he makes the floater. The Spurs needed to get a bucket. Their offense had gone cold after a strong start to the quarter, as it's 77-69. Nice. Romano, tip for Wembanyama, who gets it back, and makes the layup, falling down afterwards. 77-71. Sharpe! His windmill is blocked! Victor Wembanyama with the snuff. On the other end, here's Josh Hart with it. Hart guarded by Khalil Griffin. Hoping somebody gets open. Look at the post-up. Sabonis guarded by Shaedon Sharpe. That is a mismatch. Sabonis bullying him. Misses it. Gets his rebound and misses it again. What a play there by Shaedon Sharpe. 6-point game. Here's Springer with it. Looks to get by Sabonis. And he does! Oh my God! What a slam by Darius Springer. 17-8-4. Another all-around game for the All-Star as he's guarded by Romano. That is a mismatch. He goes for the jumper. Normally Springer looks to post up, score inside, but he's really shown more of a well-roundedness as a scorer. Sharpe's pass is tipped and intercepted. The Frenchman with the interception out to Kobe White. He makes the layup, and the Spurs have it back within 4. Nice little run here for San Antonio to bring themselves back within a couple possessions. Wemby heaves up a 3, no good. Sabonis with the offensive rebound. He gets the putback over Springer, one of the best rebounders in the league, but Sabonis gets the upper hand. 5-point game. Here's Ochai with it. Passes it inside for Enzo Shabazz in the corner. Shaedon Sharpe. Triple is good. Big shot for Sharpe. Portland's been kind of quiet from beyond the arc here in the third quarter. They needed that one. Xavier Tillman inside, no good. Gets his own rebound. Passes it back out. 3 will fall. That's Brano. And we're within 1 score. 87-84. Time winding down. Khalil Griffin's going to have to heave one up. Beats the shot clock, but it's no good. Big quarter for San Antonio. They only trail by 3. 87-84 as we move into the fourth. Romano floater, no good. Gets his own rebound. No good again. Nice defensive stop by Enzo Shabazz. On the other end, good ball movement. Simons, midi, will fall. Simons has been pretty quiet today. Another inefficient game out of him. But when you need a bucket, he's still the guy to go to. Portland in takeover mode. LaVine gets that one to fall, though, over Abaji. 89-86. Ochai with it. Gets it over to Zay Logan. He finds Simons. Step back. Heaves it up. A prayer, and it's good. And Furno gonna light this place up. 92-86 off the triple by Simons. LaVine, spin move over Ochai, it's good. LaVine's had a few plays over Ochai today, and Ochai's defended him really well. It's just that Zach LaVine, even as he's gotten older, is still a gifted scorer. Henderson inside makes the layup despite really good defense by Marco Romano. 94-90. Springer floats it up. No good. He's in with the rebound. His 10th. Out to Simons for 3. No good. Springer with another rebound. Third time's the charm. Nope. Got to take advantage there. He got 3 chances to score and didn't do it. Malachi Branham with it for the Spurs. He gets it on the other end. It's a 2-point game. The closest this one has been since the first quarter. 94-92. Here's Simons with it. Gets it over to Ochai Agbaji. Pump fake on the drive. Layup is good. Nice fake there by Agbaji to make the layup. And it's 96-92. Hart with it on the wing. Gets it to Romano for three, and it's good! What a shot by Marco Romano. And we are within one. 96-95. Simons with it off the screen. Drives inside. Lobs it up! For Darius Springer, it's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's an all-star. 98-95. Springer with the snuff. Spurs get it back. No good. Nice defense. Darius Springer with the rebound. He gets it out to Ochai. Agbaji, pump fake. Simons in the corner. Bang! Simons and Ochai both getting a lot of fourth quarter minutes because they sat for most of the third. So Portland's giving them some extra run here down the stretch. Romano with the charge. Scoot Henderson keeps his feet set. That could be a huge momentum boost, I feel like, for the Blazers. But the Spurs have other plans. LaVine in with the slam. He blows by the defender, Agbaji. 101-97. Here's Romano with it with around 4 to go. Inside, Wembanyama makes the layup. 2-point game, 101-99. Here's Sharp with the drive. And the windmill! Shaedon Sharpe, oh me, oh my. Drives by Hart, sends it up with some authority. I saw that rim was rocking after that dunk. Here's Ochai out to Sharp. Sharp inside for Anthony Simons, who's had a great fourth quarter. Simons slithers his way through the defenders in to get the dunk. 8 points in the quarter for Inferno. Here is Sabonis, guarded by Khalil Griffin. He's going to use his size and strength to post up on him, and it's a 4-point game. 105-101 with 3 to go. Pump fake from Griffin. He's in with the slam. Back scratch and rock the baby. 6-point game. Spurs call time. Inside it's Scoot Henderson. No good. Wembanyama might have got a hand on that one. On the other end, here's Josh Hart with it. Drives right side. Hart gets the layup over Springer. And the Spurs have it within 4. San Antonio has not led since the first quarter, but they're continuing to hang around. Springer, pump fake, could have gotten a good look inside. Instead, he gets it to Griffin, who has the mismatch. Guarded by Josh Hart. And Khalil Griffin takes advantage. He's having a phenomenal game all around with 22, 7, and 4. Griffin looking to add to the lead. It's no good. That could have been the dagger, I feel like. Wemby with the rebound. Pressured up the floor. With space for 3. It's good! Victor Wembanyama cuts the lead in half. It's a one-score game, and the Spurs would get it back shortly thereafter. Wemby thinks about the 3 for the tie. Won't take it. Guarded by Porzingis. Shot inside is no good. Big stop by Porzingis. And if the Blazers can make this a 2-score game, that'd be gigantic. Chewing as much clock as they can. Porzingis in the corner. Darius Springer with it. Springer's layup is no good. Romano with the rebound. Spurs have a timeout. They decide not to use it. Here's LaVine inside. Wembanyama's fouled as he gets rocked by Shaedon Sharpe and will go to the line to shoot 2. The Spurs' strategy was to look for a quick score and, I guess, foul as Wembanyama makes the first. Second one is good as well. So step 1 of the operation's done. They get their 2 points. The Blazers are going to put this in the hands of Shaedon Sharpe, who is fouled. Portland still not in the bonus, though. They'll have to inbound. And it looks like, again, Shaedon Sharpe likely will be the one who gets the ball to shoot these 2 at the line. He needs to make them both to make it a 3-point game. No matter what, though, the Spurs are going to get it back, only down by 1 score. I presume they would call a timeout and get an opportunity to set up a play. Sharpe's first one is good. Lead to 2. Second one for Shaedon Sharpe is good as well. Not razzled by the big crowd here on national television, as it's a 3-point game and the Spurs call time. Clock sits at 12 seconds. I don't think San Antonio is going to go for a quick 2 again. I think they've got to go for the tie. We're going to bring in our defensive lineup, basically the starters and then Ochai Agbaji. So we know we can't let them shoot the 3 ball. I feel like we've got to strength the floor and guard up on the perimeter as much as possible. The question, though, is who's the one who's going to take the 3? Because the Spurs have multiple threats shooting the ball. I think they're going to look for Zach LaVine. I get that Wemby's the man, and he can certainly shoot the ball, but they've really tried to craft LaVine a lot of opportunities on the perimeter, so we've got to try to make him force a drive and pressure him on the perimeter as much as possible to where he doesn't want to take a 3. So on the inbound, it's Hart with 12 to go. Shot clock unplugged. Hart in the corner. Wembanyama for the tie. It's good! The Spurs go to Victor after all, and he hits it in the corner. We were expecting LaVine. We were wrong. But now this game is knotted up, and the Blazers call a timeout. They still have plenty of time, 9.7 seconds. That was a very quick possession. We're going to bring your offense lineup in the game. Obviously, Anthony Simons, a guy who we trust with the quick shots. The dilemma I had was who's going to be the fifth man between Griffin and Porzingis. Do I value Griffin's shooting ability off the catch or Porzingis' size and rebounding? I don't think we're going to be able to really get an opportunity to grab a rebound. We're going to hold for a little while on the clock, so because of that, I think I would rather Griffin's ability to shoot off the catch. I still want to crash the glass, though. We have guys who are good rebounders, just not guys who are 7'3". So what's the deal here for Portland? Who's getting the ball? Khalil Griffin will inbound it on the baseline. He gets it over to Scoot Henderson. Clock winding down. Scoot's looking to set up a play. It looks like for Darius Springer. He can't get open, though. Scoot to the corner. Sharp for the win. No good! We're going to overtime. The Blazers looked like they tried to run a play there, but they got it going a little bit too late to where they kind of panicked and had to hit a contested shot. With that, we'll be going into overtime. No Scoot Henderson, no Khalil Griffin. Both of them are going to get around a minute or so of rest to try to put themselves in a good spot to finish out the game. As Sabonis, full Springer on the fake, out to Levine in the corner, misses for three, but Sabonis gets the putback. All because Springer got fooled by the fake. Abaji has to help on Sabonis, even though the three missed. Sabonis had the size mismatch and was always going to get the putback. Hart corner three, no good. Big stomp by Springer. On the other end, it's Shaedon Sharpe with it. Gets it to Simons at the top of the key. Buries the three. Big shot for Simons, and the Blazers lead by a point. 116-115. Levine inside for Vic, and the Spurs are back ahead. They're taking their first leads since quarter number one. Sharpe inside, he's trapped. Out to Springer, no good. Big stop by the Spurs, even though that shot meter was big as hell. On the other end, Hart, and one! That was really not a shooting foul. Shaedon Sharpe reached for the ball as Hart was very clearly not in his motion of shooting. Now, I will say I don't want to argue with this call too much because we got the other end of this in the last episode, but still, making a boneheaded call like this in overtime of a giant regular season game, that 1 point could very well be the difference because we need all the points we can get. There's Darius Springer with the dunk. Unfortunately, though, the Spurs are in takeover mode. Want the assist from Scoot Henderson, who checks back in the game for Simons. Levine inside, no good. Sabonis with the rebound. Wembanyama for three. He hits it. Big shot for Victor Wembanyama. 5-point game. It's in the hands of Shaedon Sharpe. Gets the screen by Porzingis. Mid-ranger on the move is good for Shaedon, and it's a one-score game. Following a couple Wembanyama free throws. Springer with it, back to Sharpe. The Blazers want the ball in Shaedon Sharpe's hands. They trust him the most as their primary scorer as he hits another mid-ranger. And again, 3-point game. Minute 20. Wembanyama with the ball, guarded by Porzingis. Wemby's pushing 50 at this point. Porzingis has not had a very good day defending him as he gets the spin move layup to go, and the lead's back at 5. Shaedon Sharpe with the ball once again, living and dying by the mid-range. This time he sends in the floater, and it's good. 3-point game once again. 124-127, under a minute to play. Here's Levine with it off the screen. Good defense by Portland. Off of another screen. Romano with it, guarded by Scoot. Back to Levine. 10 on the shot clock. Levine out to Hart. Quick closeout defense by Griffin. Hart inside. No good. Big stop by Griffin. Portland can theoretically tie it. Sharpe goes for the three. No good. Scoot comes flying in with the rebound, and he gets the putback. Sharpe knew he could take the three because Portland was going to have more guys underneath for a putback. The Blazers now running the press, although they will not foul being down by 1. They're still not going to foul with the Spurs on the other end of the floor. They're going to let the Spurs run out of possession with 20 seconds to go. Romano with it, out to Levine. No threes. Romano to Hart. He goes for the three, and he misses it. Springer with the rebound. Portland calls time with 11.5 seconds left, and they can win the game, trailing by 1. Another opportunity for a game winner. We failed at the end of the regulation, but now it's a little bit different now that instead of the game being tied, we're losing. Simons is back in the game, and instead of Griffin, we're going to have Porzingis remain in the game because we may not go for a shot right at the buzzer now that we're losing, and we may need him to grab a rebound, or we may have him open on the perimeter, and I trust him to hit a big shot as well. It is Porzingis on the baseline to inbound. He gets to scoot over to Sharp, guarded by Hart. Shaedon Sharp is the guy the Blazers want taking the shot as he drives inside. Layup no good. Grabs his own rebound. Put back. Will fall for the lead. Shaedon Sharp follows his own shot. Grabs his own miss and puts the Trailblazers ahead with just a couple seconds left on the clock. What a play by Shaedon Sharp. But now we've got to clutch up on defense. 3.2 seconds left. What are the Spurs doing? We're going to go back to our defensive lineup. Griffin checks in the game. Ochai checks in the game. Obviously, I think the Spurs are looking for Wembanyama. A 2 wins the game as well as a 3. So because of that, I assume they're going to look for a 2. I trust Wembanyama's ability to score off of the drive more than I do off of the jumper. So because of that, we've got to force a shot out of him. I don't think we really need to focus on crashing the boards because the Spurs are only going to have enough time for one shot here. So we've just got to have everybody clutch up on their man. It's Hart on the inbound. Wembanyama looking to get open in the corner. They go to Wemby. Pump fake. Out to Hart. Wide open. It's good for the win. Josh Hart wins it for San Antonio at the buzzer with a catch-and-shoot 3 assisted by Wembanyama. So the Blazers doubled Victor. Griffin was supposed to be guarding Josh Hart, but once the ball was inbounded to Wembanyama, we figured that there's an 100% chance he's taking the shot. He's the MVP. He's not passing it to Josh Hart. Well, that's exactly what he does, and that's how we lose the game. An unfortunate way to go out here for Portland. And again, I think the defensive process there by Griffin made sense. Wembanyama's the guy who should be taking the shot here. He had enough space to hit the 3, and he was going to shoot it. Hart's barely inbounds here as Wemby goes for the pump fake. How are we supposed to expect the Spurs to execute a quick pass to Hart, who gets behind the three-point line, but is able to get enough space and make the 3 for the win? I feel like the likelihood of that was a lot less than that of Wembanyama hitting a big shot on his own. Victor Wembanyama with 48, 10, and 6. I don't know how you're supposed to stop him. I just have no answers. He's 7'4". He can dribble. He can shoot. He can pass. I got nothing. 29 for Levine, 16 for Hart, including the game winner, 13 boards for Domantas Sabonis. I feel like the Spurs lived and died by the 3 too much. 50% of their shots were 3s. I don't know why, but they won the game. 29, 6, and 6 for Sharp. He was big down the stretch in that fourth quarter and overtime. 23 and 13 for Springer. 22, 8, and 4 for Khalil Griffin. 17 for Simons. He was clutch. 16, 6, and 5 for Scoot. Ochai was solid. Porzingis didn't really give us much, though. If you're going to have to guard Wembanyama and don't execute, I need something out of you offensively. 5 points on 2 of 6 shooting is not going to cut it. An unfortunate loss here to the Spurs. It looks like we won't be able to get the 1 seed for now as we drop from 3rd to 5th. That's how little margin for error there is in this conference. We're still tied for 3rd, but everybody in this conference is so good, and we're going to have to go back and play Sacramento next. That'll be in the next episode, getting our first look at the Joel Embiid-led Canes. We might have the prospect profile soon. I don't know if it'll be the next episode. No promises, but maybe. Make sure to leave a like. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe as well. Hope everybody enjoyed. Peace out.